Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time from Jerp Pin. He didn't want me to say his real name, which I have nothing wrong with that. Just feel free to let me know for folks out there. And if people want to send any type of request, video game, review, re-review, topic, reaction, randomness, out of the blueness, whether the case may be, out of the blueness mean like it could be again a random topic, it could be a commentary, reaction, a re-review, get a video game. Let's try. However, PayPal's usually the best bet, or join my Patreon. Both things are down below in the info box. I also do have a Cash App as well. But Jerp Pin wanted me to do a commentary on License to Drive, 1988 film, starring Corey Haim and Corey Feldman. So let's get right into it. I'm paused at the beginning. Get my audio right so I'm not drowning it. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. We got the 20th Century Fox logo. And there we go. It's been a while since I've seen this film, and I wouldn't say it's a film I grew up with, but it's a film I knew of course. Of course, the heyday of Corey Haim and Feldman, because by this point, they had been in the Lost Boys. And this film did decently at the box office. I mean, $8 million budget, made over $20 million. So it's not like breaking records, but nice little profit. Yeah, this definitely has a nice catchy soundtrack as well. Did drive by. And of course, the other song, "The Out of My Dreams," the end of my car. That'll be later on. Now, anytime I think of or watch like a Corey Haim film nowadays, if it ever comes up, it's sad. Certain bit of sadness to it because of what happened to his life, to his career, personal demons, and sadly outside forces just screwing him up. And Neil Tolkien, that guy, I think he helped write Jury Duty, the Pauly Shore film. And I think he came up with the story of the Richie Rich movie. And Great Beeman, the only two films I could think of he did is Mom and Dad Save the World, that one with Jeffrey Jones, that no one remembers, and Bushwhacked, the one with Daniel Stern. And this is an interesting dream sequence. I mean, you could edit Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 Freddy's Revenge with this. I think someone has done that, where just has the school bus scene, and this is definitely a big dream sequence. Of course, like school, we're all prisoners when you go to school. Look how depressed they are. They look like zombies from Dawn of the Dead, George Romero's film. But Corey Haim I've always been a fan of. Between Haim and Feldman, I was always more of a Corey Haim guy. I thought Feldman did well as a kid too, as an actor. Stand By Me, The Goonies. Corey Haim just seemed more likable. He seemed more capable of being a leading man material. And this was 1988. Later on, he starred in a film, part of my childhood, which was Watchers. I love Watchers. That came around December of '88. This came out much earlier in the year. This was a hit, but sadly Watchers was not. Watchers was a bomb. I think Watchers made some money on video. That's why they got sequels, but sadly the first film didn't do well. And still is no Blu-ray of Watchers 1. No Blu-ray. I have a bootleg Blu-ray that looks great, so I'm happy with mine, but I said that deserves more of an official release. This is definitely something a lot of kids can relate to. Being trapped in a bus, wanting to be an action hero, get the girl, be part of an action movie. So I think a lot of kids can relate to this stuff. Escaping school would be part of an action movie and get the hot girl. It makes sense to me. And ooh, that's a nice looking car. Really beautiful looking car. And of course, you got a very young Heather Graham in this. Heather Graham, of course, would later, I would say by the late 90s, she was a bit more successful. Because she was in Boogie Nights, the Awesome Power sequel, The Spy Who Shagged Me. It was a big budget film, but Lost in Space, which was a flop, but it's a film some people remember. It seemed like after that stuff, it died down a little bit. I mean, she was in Bowfinger. That's a good movie with Eddie Murphy and Steve Martin. Forgot how extensive his like action sequences. Ah, there you go. In the middle of driver's ed. I'm surprised they spoil it here and not wait for the end to spoil what's going on. Like they don't just build up to it and then boom, have the reveal. But I don't know. I guess maybe they thought if it went on for too long, the audience would be, "Are we in the right movie?" And yeah, Corey Haim just has a charm and likable quality to him that I don't think Corey Feldman quite had. And Corey Haim, like, well, Lucas I enjoyed, The Lost Boys. Now that guy I recognize. I know I've seen him in a bunch of stuff, and I'm trying to remember who he is. I try to remember who that is. I know I've seen him in other stuff. I know I have. Let me check real quick. Let me see real quick. Oh, that's what it was. He was the hotel manager in Ghostbusters. The original Ghostbusters, where it's like, it's that much, I won't pay it. And they're like, okay, we'll bring it back into the hotel. No, 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 fine. No, no. He was I never recognized it. It's the hotel manager for Ghostbusters, okay. Now, to be fair, Haim and Feldman, they had chemistry with each other. And Corey Feldman, at this point, like, I didn't mind him as a younger actor. I would say I was more into Haim. But now, anytime I see Feldman, I know I'm supposed to separate the art from the artist, but anytime I see Corey Feldman, I want to punch him in the face. I can't help it. Because Corey Feldman is such a piece of shit, piece of trash human being. I just outdid this just to get out of the way. The whole ordeal. So Corey Haim, long, long ago, he was sadly abused. Some say on the set of Lucas, some say other places. And Corey Haim has said it was one guy. And it was Dominic Brazier, who was close friends with Corey Feldman. Corey Haim's mother confirms this is what Haim told her. And apparently Feldman was still close friends with Dominic Brazier. And Dominic Brazier was the guy, remember Friday the 13th Part 5? The beginning, the guy with the chocolate bar who just the axe to the back. And so throughout the years, they Haim and Feldman were not as close friends as people assumed. Like in the heyday, they were hanging out and be cool with each other, but I think maybe like Haim finding out what had happened, as in how close Feldman is to this guy and how he kept in touch with this guy, or something else. Uh, Ultimately, there was a big split. In years and years, I think Corey Feldman was jealous of Haim. I do. That's why Feldman, he knows that his heyday was either the Goonies and that stuff, or his time with Haim. So that's why he keeps bringing Haim up. He would write, Feldman would write these autobiographies and have to making fun of Haim. His teeth was rotten, his teeth would smell, this and that, this and that. I'm like, dude, your friend, it's supposed to be your dear friend who's dead, and half of it you're just making fun of him. Oh, I'm going to do this My Truth documentary, but I'm more going to talk about Haim than me. If you ever see it, he talked more about Haim than him. And then he's like, oh, it was a Charlie Sheen. And then even if it's like, oh, here's the 911 call for when Haim died. Like, why was that in there? And why do you need to charge people money to see it? And, well, I need money to disappear. Well, it came out and you didn't have to disappear, did you? Did you have to disappear? No. And just the amount of lies. I know the guy who was the kid in the toy, Richard Pryor, the toy. I forget his name. He's done some interviews where he was friends with Haim and such, and talk about how much Feldman's a lying piece of shit. And Feldman, just all this weird stuff he would do too, like his singing attempts. He would have these ladies with like halos on them, and some of them came out and talk about how Feldman was trash. The bus driver who toured with them, he would come out how Feldman was trash. All this stuff that he would do, well, he would tell these stories and the stories wouldn't match. To the point you could look up on YouTube the lies of Corey Feldman. It's just one of those things where, like, why do you keep dragging Haim's name through the mud? Why do you keep bringing it up? Why do you keep using what happened to him to further your own career? Maybe some things did happen to you, but then you want to push on to Haim and his story, and even Corey Haim's mom says, you know what, my son's dead. Did you get his name out of your mouth? I do think Feldman was jealous. I think he saw Haim as a guy who was a better looking guy who was getting leading roles. Like at this point, okay, Feldman got the Goonies, but then Corey Haim got Lucas, and he was the star of that. Haim was the star of it. Feldman wasn't Stand By Me, but he wasn't the star. He was in the Goonies, but he wasn't the star. Haim on the other hand got Lucas, but he was a star. The Lost Boys, Haim got a bigger role than Feldman. Feldman and the Frog Brothers, very popular characters, but Haim was definitely higher up in the call sheet. And from what the guy who was the kid in the toy, let me look him up. Apparently he said he was supposed to be this third guy in the movie. But I guess Feldman kind of made that happen. Scott Schwartz. Yeah, look up Scott Schwartz, Corey Feldman. You'll find some fun videos. But apparently Scott Schwartz was supposed to be this third guy. Oh, and then in 1987, had the Lost Boys. Who had the bigger role? Haim. In this film, who had the starring role? Haim. Feldman's in it, but Haim had the starring role. And then later on in the year, he had a starring role in Watchers. In fact, Feldman didn't really have much starring roles until, Dream a Little Dream? Which was was that after this, I think? I could be wrong, I think it was after this. And most of the time when they were together, it was usually Haim as the star. blown away. Feldman's in it, but Haim was the star. So I think Feldman was jealous of Haim. Nowadays, I bet I could make a poll of people say they liked Haim more than Feldman. I think Feldman knows this type of stuff and gets pissed off about it. I think he knows a lot of people make fun of him and don't take him serious. His career did not flourish. Neither did Haim, sadly. They both fell in the drudge. Feldman, yes, he was Donatello in the 1990 Ninja Turtles, which I thought he was shit. The 1990 Ninja Turtles film I adore. It's one of my favorite films ever. But I do not like Corey Feldman as Donatello. I think he's dog shit. I think the guy who voiced him in the second film, Adam Carl, was much better Donatello. It fit more. Just the way Corey Feldman made Donatello sound like was Mighty 2.0. Hey, dude, surfer, Corey Feldman is one of the worst voices for Donatello. And again, Robbie Riss is Michelangelo, fantastic. Josh Payes is Raphael, fantastic. What was the Leo Brian Tochi, fantastic. So I think Feldman and Haim, they were friends. This is my viewpoint. Doesn't have to be yours. My viewpoint. I think Feldman and Haim were friends. But I think Feldman knew what Dominant Brazier did, and he didn't want to get in deep shit. I think that part of him was jealous of Haim. If there's a way to, manipulate or inadvertently do shit or whatever. Haim seemed like he had parents who gave more shit about him than Feldman had parents. And so all this stuff happened where, they got on the drugs and that fucked their careers up. And then, like Feldman, he was in The Burbs in 89, 1990 Ninja Turtles as the voice. And then, I think one of the reasons he wasn't in the second one was because of the drug stuff got out and he was in rehab and all this other stuff happened. And then Feldman in the 90s, like, other than, what was it, Bordello of Blood and a few other movies. And then Corey Haim, he would do direct-to-video stuff, Fast Getaway 1 and 2, Dream Machine, Demolition High, which I don't mind, but nothing up to level and nothing in theatrical. Now, let me just mention the daddy, or Richard Masur, or Richard Masur, I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name. Of course, he was Clark in John Carpenter's The Thing. He does a great job here as the dad. He's a lot of fun. Pretty nice dad to do this for his son. Commendable. But he was in John Carpenter's The Thing as Clark, who took care of the dogs in the kennel. He was in Stephen King's It. He was one of the adults. He was the one that ended his life in the bathroom. He's done other stuff as well. He had a very, very brief role in, was it the Steven Seagal film Fire Down Below? Which I have a feeling he had a bigger role, but it was cut because of additional shooting or whatever. Of course, don't leave his dad hanging there. He could say that he's picking up his dad. He's got to pick up his dad. He's going to get fucked over. Oh man. But Richard Masters are good, a good actor, and then Carol Kane plays the mom. She was in a bunch of stuff. I remember in Scrooged, the Ghost of Christmas Present, who would beat the hell out of Bill Murray's character. I think she was in The Princess Bride with Billy Crystal. But I'm sorry, I had to get that stuff out of the way with Haim and Feldman because it's definitely sadly the dark horse over Corey Haim because just a sad state of affairs, you know. As a young kid to go through that, and then the guy who's supposed to be your friend fucks you over. And I do believe Feldman's that type of guy, based on what other people say, based on just the vibe I get from him. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but whatever. And on top of that, just I don't know, just like I said, the vibe I get from him. And then, you know, probably that troubles and that issues got into drug usage to ease the pain, and then films aren't doing that well, and then you get into the 90s and they go straight to video, in and out of drugs, just like Feldman was, and I forget what movie it was. Was it Last Resort, or maybe it was Busted? The story I heard was that Haim and Feldman were on set, and he saw Dominic Brazier, because Feldman had him on, because it's Feldman's close friend, and Haim went to Feldman and then shoved him against the wall. Like, what the fuck is this? That's why if you see that reality show, which I know reality shows are bullshit, but I think Haim, he saw an opportunity to, yeah, this is an opportunity to get paid, but at the same time, this is a way to get some stuff off his chest, and the cameras are filming. So there, they have that talk with each other. You know, a guy that you know did this to me. You didn't do anything about it. And you just see how stunned Feldman is. And let me tell you something, Feldman is not that good of an actor. He is not that good of an actor. He was truly stunned that Haim brought this up. And I'm sitting there going, why the fuck was this not brought up earlier? But at the same time, Haim's like, you know, I'm sure it's like, you know what, if this happened, embarrassment, I could deal with it, all sorts of stuff. Will people believe me, or is it a whatever the case would be? I don't know. Just a very sad state of affairs. I miss Corey Haim, and he passed away, was it 2010? It was just such a damn shame. Such a damn shame, because I think he was in Crank 2 High Voltage. Would have been nice to see what he would have done later. Get back on the horse. And sadly, wasn't the case. He passed away in 2010. And Feldman still can't shut the fuck up about him. Man, this is definitely a unique way of doing a DMV test. Definitely not how it was last time. I mean, when I did it. But right, they didn't have stuff like this. I mean, look at these old ass computers from way back to the day when the screens are green. I'm just looking for buzzword in the same language because they. Should have studied. I like the way this is edited. They really give that sense of frustration and paranoia. I wonder though, why you would need, well, I guess headphones, but if it's all text, do you really need headphones for all this if it's all text based? So far, I mean, you just say, well, maybe for the hearing impaired, but if you're hearing impaired, then I don't know. Large puddle of water. Large puddle of water. Did you dip this, man? No, C's like the worst one. You don't accelerate. But yeah, I think this is pretty well edited. Sorry, and I'm just watching a film. I apologize, but yeah, yeah, he passed away 2010. It was just really sad. And then the even more thing that was fucked up was I say even more fucked up was the fact that the Oscars, the Academy Award, they did not even fucking the in memory. They didn't do a fucking thing with him involved in memory. Like they didn't even show like okay, I know you. No, you can fit everybody in. If there's some people that's like, I've never heard of that fucking person before, but you can't put fucking Corey Haim in there? Don't believe me? Go back and watch the Oscars. They didn't even put Corey Haim in memory of. Fucking one. Yet even in death, he was disrespected. Feels so bad for Corey. I mean, man. Now, of course, this other guy is James Avery, which sadly he's passed away. Of course, the voice of Shredder in the original Ninja Turtles cartoon. Of course, most people remember him as Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Will Smith, but I remember him more as Shredder in the Ninja Turtles cartoon. With his, here he's got his 7-Eleven coffee. I don't know what, he reminds me a bit of Chief David in National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1. Just how intense he is. One man should never mess with another man's french fries. No, Men at Work. What I'm talking about. That's, I think of Emilio Estevez. Emilio Estevez in Men at Work. That's what I meant. Not Loaded Weapon. It's because I see the fucking Blu-ray there, the bootleg Blu-ray Loaded Weapon 1, and I just looked at it, it popped in my head. But Men at Work. Chief David and Men at Work with Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen. At Men at Work, he wasn't the DMV, but he was like, because Emilio and Charlie Sheen are guys, trash collectors, trash men, and he's the guy sent in to supervise. Just like this guy's supervising. So the two people supervising, and they're intense individuals. And like Chief David and Men at Work, never mess with another man's french fries. Here, like, don't spill my coffee. Doing the best he can. So you have this guy's like so chill and relaxed. And of course in comparison with the intensity of it all. It's probably relatable to people. I think more people had the James Avery type than the chill, cool, collected type. Like, he's supposed to park in there? What the fuck? Look at this guy, like, just walking the way with a guitar. Like, that's a close call. Holy shit. Like, pretty damn close calls. No drops on him. I think he yeah, that's right. He succeeds in this, but then when he gets in, the computer got his stuff and he fails. So he did all this for nothing. But yeah, James Avery's a lot of fun in this. May he rest in peace. Okay, he does get it, but I know eventually. Is it in the scene here? But yeah, here. Yeah, okay. I was going to say. Okay. So this came out in 1988, which is a pretty damn good year for movies, because, like, action-wise, you got Die Hard, you got Rambo 3, you got Bloodsport, you got Above the Law. I forget what you have with Chuck Norris. A lot of damn good action films. I mean, Die Hard, again, Rambo 3, Bloodsport, Above the Law alone. And, yeah, the Blah remake, 1988, had a great year for sequels. Great year for sequels. Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 4, The Dream Master, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, I think Phantasm 2 was that year. Just a shitload of fun horror sequels, at least in my opinion. And in the 80s, I mean, it was littered with a lot of high school movies. I forget what years they all came in, but of course, years before you had The Breakfast Club. Three O'Clock High is a very interesting one with Casey Shamastro from Young Guns. They did a good job with that. I like 3 O'Clock High. I'd probably say I like that a bit more than this one. Because I like this movie. It's not one I ever loved, but I like it. I mainly like it for Corey Haim. I think what it is that like I don't mind the buildup of this. It's when he gets with Feldman, they're going on this kind of car ride. It's just something about it, just I don't know. Not as exciting for me compared to other movies, but I do like it. He's not going to tell the truth, of course. He's not going to tell the truth, of course, because it'd be the end of the movie. But yeah, these two do a good job as the parents. Just the trick with having parents in these type of movies is, on one hand, you have to make them entertaining or quirky enough to not be bland or boring, but you also have to make it where they're not uh, unlikable and bitchy or you have to, you. I guess depending on how you want your story to play out, but in this case, you want them likable enough and interesting enough so you're not bored or you're not spiteful against them. Hey there, sorry about the edit. I had to get something done, but for those following, I'm paused at 33 minutes 28 seconds. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. No, it's not, because this media player is stupid, and I hate this media player. I hate this media player a lot on this thing. Just you'll pause it, and then you leave, and then it won't unpause for some reason. So, 1 second, folks, I apologize. Okay, I'm at 33 minutes and 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. Alright. Ah, here you go. Yep. Yeah, I think by this point, Hayne probably knows a thing or two what his dad's gonna really wants. Because you're not driving. See, again, I like Richard's performance. You know, you're grounded for 2 weeks, but it's not the end of the world. So he's got to put some. So he's got to punish him, but he's being like a friend as well. Now that guy looks familiar. Is that the guy who? Let me double check. Okay. Hmm. I think that I can't remember where that guy's been in. Sorry, I'm not saying much for the commentary. I mean, there is a DVD and it did have some features, but I didn't listen to the commentary and the little interview with Corey Haim and Corey Feldman. I can't remember much about it, to be honest. God, I mean, it's interesting just looking back on this old technology, way before cell phones and digital clocks and all that stuff. Dude, just tell her the truth. Of course, telling the truth, I guess, would be more of a boring movie. Again, sorry I'm not saying much with the commentaries. What's happening on screen is, as I'm, again, 37 minutes and 50 seconds. We have him talking to the screen here, which I can't think of the first. I'm trying to remember the first movie that did that. But the movie I keep thinking of that did it is Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which was before this. John Hughes film with Matthew Broderick. I'm not saying that's the first film to do it. I'm saying that's the film. Anytime someone's talking to the camera, that's the film I visualize. Cuffs did that as well with Christian Slater, which is a very underrated film. That was in the 90s. Then Deadpool did it. In fact, at the very end, he even references Ferris Bueller after the end credits. Because if you watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off, after the end credits, there's a last scene with Matthew Broderick telling, "Go home." So Deadpool does the same thing in the first Deadpool film. Got the parting brake. Well, you'd always say maybe someone mowed or something. So I'm trying to figure out why he took the light bulb off. Uh, there's no way to close it, or no way to the light to shut it off. You think there'd be some type of way? And of course, this is why Carol Kane's character is pregnant to have this whole sequence happen. I think it's a false alarm until then by the end of it, it's a real deal. I think what it is that like the love story between Corey Haim and Heather Graham, it's alright, but it's not really the most interesting part of the movie to me. I forgot how little Feldman was in this for being on the poster. Like the first 40 minutes, he's in it less than 5 minutes. But I know he's definitely more in it in the second half of this movie. I think it's after like she gets drunk, passes out, and stuff. And then you'll see a lot more of Feldman. Maybe those are the guys from Ferris Bueller that like took the car in there and just and do that bit with the Star Wars music where they're jumping up and you realize they put like 1,000 miles onto the damn thing. So you're not gonna let valets park it, but you don't put in a tollway zone. Well, there you go. Also, I mean, they probably speed with that fast ass car, but fuck is that wonder of his Fidel Sassoon haircut? Yeah, the hair is totally 80s big and just ugly. Ugly ass, big ass hair. Frizzled and frazzled. Welcome to Fraggle Rock. Fucking hair. With a bit of makeup, that one girl looks like Elvira. Well, is Elvira mistress of the cunts? Now she don't get drunk as shit. You should have known. Should have known. But yeah, I mean, definitely wide array of high school movies from the 80s that you could showcase. I mean, technically, a little bit of Back to the Future. Just, yeah, a little bit of the high school at the beginning. Then you have the high school in 1955 with Crispin Glover in them. I mentioned 3 O'Clock High, which is a good underrated one. The Breakfast Club, classic. Um, this guy here, fucking, looks like he'd be working for WWF at the time. He wasn't, but might as well. Took all the guy's fucking money. Crook. Fucking crook. And at the beginning we saw this was released by Fox, and Fox, man, 20th Century Fox, before they got bought out by Disney. Even the past few years before they got bought out by Disney, Sally was not the same beast as they were in the 80s and 90s, because I mean, you look at Alien and Aliens, you look at Die Hard, you look at the Die Hard films, you look at True Lies, even films like this. I think they released Weekend at Bernie's or something like that. I mean, if not, then Predator, The Fly remake, Big Trouble in Little China. There's a lot of movies that just were classics. Speed, 1994. They 20th Century Fox was like one of the primary companies, and just to see that dwindle and piss away in the last remaining years, releasing shit like The Predator and A Good Day to Die Hard and these crappy X-Men movies, First Class and Days of Future Past, which I don't give. I mean, people can like that film all they want. I think it was shit. Or Apocalypse or Dark Phoenix. And then Disney bought them out. Now they're 20th Century Studios. And pretty much this shit goes on Hulu or whatever the hell. And like I said, this is probably when the movie loses me a bit, because I mean, like I said, I like Corey Haim. Heather Graham is alright, but I just don't care about any of this. I don't know why. I just really don't care about any of this business. Corey Haim messing with his family and the DMV stuff and all that jazz. It was much more funny or interesting or just lacked comedic value. Just Sakara thought differently. Thought this music sucked. I don't want this shit in there. Of course, the car would like Frank Sinatra a lot more. Who wouldn't? This shit just dancing on the fucking car like, you drunk ass bitch. No respect for anybody's property. Knock her ass down. Or tell her, hey, get down, you're on the damn car. The fuck? So she kicked her shoes off. Let's see if there's any trivia on this. 6.3 on IMDb. Neither Feldman or Haim had a driver's license when filming started. Feldman has said in interviews that his heart sank when he heard Haim beat him out for the lead role one more time. This already happened with The Lost Boys, Luteus, and Murphy's Romance. The two were best friends but also fierce rivals. In the VHS version, when some VHS versions of the movie, the song New Sensations by NXS replaced Trouble by Nia Peoples from the theatrical version. Huh. Says that Ben Affleck tried out for the role of Les Anderson. The sequence with the drunk driver and the ending with the grandfather were both added in reshoots. Corey Haim had his 16th birthday while on set. Drew Barrymore and Haim's then girlfriend Lala Slopeman attended the party while his co-star Feldman did not. Wow, Feldman didn't attend the 16th birthday party. Interesting. Let's see. John Hughes was considered to direct this film. He would have cast Anthony Michael Hall as Les and Molly Ringwald as Mercedes. Feldman wrote and produced his documentary based in part on his experience in this movie? Really? Haim said that while he liked the film, he's bothered by seeing the habit of him keeping his mouth open in many scenes throughout the movie. Yeah, I could see that. I can see what he means by that. So, of course, now we have Feldman and the other guy in the picture here, as you can see, of course. He's being careful. Don't race him, man. Be like Martin McFly in Back to the Future 3. You think you don't race him, and then you don't. There you go. Well, we'll find out now. So is that why he took the light bulb out? Because apparently this will make it so he won't see the fucking car missing, supposedly? think he's still gonna fucking notice. So damn, they got an intercom in their house too. Shit. Yeah, he's being as careful as possible with this car. Don't blame him. Oh shit. Of course, it's Feldman's fault. Feldman being a fucking dick. What a big surprise. Yeah, blind the driver. You don't need to see to drive. Why does he need to see the drive? Feldman, you dick. Feldman's a dick. It's his fucking fault. See, this is all Feldman's fault. Of course it is. God damn you, Feldman. You piece of trash. Should no one be his fucking fault. That's right. Forgot about that. Not a bad stunt there. Ooh, shit. Ooh, nice 180 there. If you think that's all there is to it, trust me, you're in for a world of hurt later on with the car. I mean, like I said, you just see why, you know, these two worked as a team when you see this. They both have different personalities. They could play off each other fairly well. It's just that I think Haim is more the lead guy, Feldman's more the buddy, and Feldman didn't want to be the buddy. He wanted to be the lead guy, but how many films has Feldman done where he's the lead? Dream a Little Dream. Not even that one film was The Edge of Honor, where they're in the woods. You got Don Swayze's one of the bad guys. He wasn't really the lead in that. It was more the one guy. Obviously, the one guy from They Friday through Part 8. To live in fear is not to live at all. You do. Are you don't ask how she don't breathe? And I didn't mind that line. Like, would you ever see a Mercedes in the trunk of a Cadillac? I actually didn't mind that line because, of course, the girl's name is Mercedes and all that. It's a coffee shop. What's the big fucking idea of going to a coffee shop? Maybe that was an '80s thing. Oh my god, we're gonna go to the coffee shop. I guess there's all the people there, but this is like where people were hanging out in 1988 coffee shops. Go hang out at the coffee shop. Maybe like Saved by the Bell. I guess it makes it a bit different than just another club, I guess. For I understand, Feldman chose all of his wardrobe. God, look at how they're dressed. Of course. Now this guy fucked it up. Oh, roll up the windows would be a lot of fucking good business. Of course, the car doesn't start. Why wouldn't it start? Why would it start now? I say I don't know what it is. Like the first half of this film, the first like 40 minutes before this night, I'd enjoy more than this part. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's not that I hate this part of the movie. It just was never as interesting to me as the first half. Maybe because like the hijinks and what's going on just didn't seem as crazy or as just I can't put in words. I don't know. But yeah, I don't hate it. Just kind of just a meh factor. Don't worry about her not telling Dad. Worry about surviving. Of course, you gotta find all the ways to make sure they don't see what's right in front of them to make the film longer. Well, he has no license. Student bus pass. I do like Corey. I said, I mean, you would think when they first noticed the cops, like we got a body in the trunk. Maybe we should just go 180 and go a different way. There has to be like multiple ways to go. Like, would a cop really leave and be like, "We found someone in the trunk of a car"? Would they really fucking just leave? Like, hey, we have this girl that jumped in her car. She could be drugged all number of ways, shape, or forms to be groggy. Nah, let's leave her and like, hey, you stay here, call it in, and then do this and that. But I guess they left the keys in the car as well. Not going home now. Oh my god, why'd you leave the keys in the car? I think that was ADR because he took my car. I'm going to take his because I don't think his lips moved. That's probably the stuff they added after the fact in case people ask, well, wait, they're stealing it? And what car is that? And all that jazz. I did. I just because he's drunk, he's like, even though I got my car and it works and the keys are in it, I'm just going to steal this other car just because I'm drunk as fuck. Why not? Just more and more wrecking this fucking car. Christ. It's on the right side, not for long. It's only the trunk. This part I don't mind of this stuff. Just always just bullying this guy. I'm going to tell this piece of shit is now my grandfather. Jesus Christ. Not a bad stunt there. Is Ali? Yes, please shut up, filming. Fucking queef. God, the car's just completely fucking wrecked. Jesus Christ. Well, he's seen John driving, now he's seen John sleeping. Well, he did imagine himself being in an action scene. Now he's got his wish here. Oh, shit. Guy's pretty good control of that car, just going in a straight line for the longest time. Heather Graham, she wasn't worth it, man. She wasn't worth the whole ordeal. Wasn't worth it. Now push his ass, throw his ass out of the car. He deserves it. Of course, luck would have to be his fucking shoelace would be there. Take your fucking shoe off, dude. Take your fucking shoe off and do it. There you go. Now, I would take this guy out and knock him the fuck out for stealing the car. Throw his ass out. Now open the car and throw his ass out. Throw him down that fucking ditch too. Right down there. Throw his ass down. He deserves it. Fucking deserves it. Yeah, not too bad at all. Yeah, it's interesting to watch this again, just how little Corey Feldman really does in the movie. I mean, maybe for the better, but it's just interesting because Heather Graham, you were not worth it. Trust me on that. Weren't worth it at all. Great. Nope, no happy ending. I say that because I just keep looking at Corey Haim, and there's no happy ending for the guy. It's a goddamn shame. I mean, again, this is a guy that I've enjoyed, and I enjoy him in this film, The Lost Boys, Watchers. It's a big part of it, and I even like Demolition High and some of the others, but again, the go through the drug phase, go through his piece of shit filming phase, trying to get back on course, does films like Crank 2, he's a bit part in it, then he dies. 2010, long ass time ago, and just how it is. Fucking sucks. Fucking sucks. Just very depressing, very lame. Talented guy. I did. Oscar doesn't even give him a fucking in memory of. Now it's time to sneak out. You could lie and say, we've been attacked. Yeah, now that Haim said that, yeah, every scene now is just this sort of mouth open, agape. It's like the fly's ready to crawl in there. Fly and crawl in there. Of course. Of course, reverse only works. Got a way to make this. I mean, hey, I mean, how many times you've had it where we got to get to the hospital because the babies do? I do it differently, right in reverse. Hey, they get them in reverse. It does take some damn talent. Of course, nowadays it'd be all caught on camera, and police would be at the damn hospital and arresting everybody at jail for 10 to 15 years. Almost manslaughter, all this shit. But I mean, for a company, there's some pretty damn impressive stunt driving and stunt work in this. All done for real, practical, and in camera. If I spilled you 7-Eleven cup. There's every fucking obstacle that has to be there. See that again? Richard's. Well, it seems like eventually that was going to happen. So, once again, Haim's mouth agape. I love that the dad just automatically blames his son. He did it. Construction beam. Wouldn't you think that they would get sued and you get the money for it from them? Because it's their fault. They fucked up. You think you'd be able to sue and get the money from them? Billy Ocean. Definitely the biggest song on the soundtrack. I remember hearing this song over and over again without realizing it was from this movie. For the longest time, like, this would pop on the radio a lot. And I'm like, oh shit, it's from this? And that's what I mean, like, Corey Feldman, like, he's not in it as much as you would think. Well, I'm surprised, like, throughout this finale, he didn't. And if it was a movie nowadays, he'd pop up. He'd be either in the car with Mercedes, he'd pop up, hey, good luck, man, or he would show up and try to make a joke or two. Not the case. Like, Feldman's not in this movie a lot. I forgot how little he was in this. And this is a good song. It's a good song to end the movie with. I would say I like the first half, and I like the finale when they gotta get to the hospital. Funny enough, it's the stuff with Feldman that I'm the least interested in, so go figure. Get out of my dreams. Get into my car. Yeah, it's less so that I really give a shit about the relationship between Corey and Heather Graham. More so that I like Corey Haim's adventure throughout all this. So, but yeah, it's a fun enough movie. Sorry I didn't have a whole lot to say. A lot of the movie kind of speaks for itself. Fuck Corey Feldman. I miss you, Corey Haim, man. You're greatly missed. Nice soundtrack. Richard Master did a wonderful job as the dad. He was probably my second favorite character after Haim. The third guy of the group, he's kind of there just to wear some glasses and be nerdy a few times. Heather Graham, she's there. Take her or leave her. Like I said, the first half I thought was more interesting, and it ended strong. That ended on a strong note. I said, like, the stuff between Haim and Master I like more than between Haim and Feldman. Maybe the director knew too. Like, maybe someone else knew too. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.